Good afternoon, YouTube. The sun is shining in my eyes and I'm outside, and guess what I'm getting ready to mess with? This is taro, and I planted this from the grocery store. Taro is expensive at the grocery store. It's like $2.49 for one per pound. But if you plant it, um, it puts off pups. So all of them have produced pups, and I need to replant this thing because it's overcrowding. All of them came from this one guy here that was way smaller than I planted it when I planted it. I thought it was dead, but you can see it's coming, a root is coming out of there. All of these were brought inside when it was freezing because they're tropical. And so I put them in one of my windows until the freeze was over. I am in Texas, which is, I say, the 8B, 9-ish zone. So if you're in a cold climate, you can grow these inside. They look like little elephant ears, right? So let's dump this thing over. So I took it out of the pot, and I don't use gloves, okay? I'm just rustic. And I started eating this thing when I was a kid. My grandmother is West Indian, so she cooked a lot of West Indian food. And I didn't realize that how expensive this stuff was until I had to actually go out and buy it myself. I thought that it was okay. You can eat the stems, or excuse me, you can eat the leaves, but you have to boil them for 30 minutes, dump the water, and then cook them again. Minimum cook time for these leaves are 30 minutes or you'll get sick, okay? It'll hurt your stomach and mess you up. You might have to end up going to the doctor. So I'm gonna take these pups out, and I have another pot here that I'm gonna replant them in. So I want to show you what happens. So I plant all of them, all of these pups came from this one root. And by pups is what I'm saying is that's the main one, and these sprout off of it. Bananas do the same thing. So you can see there's a taro root right there. Let me move this leaf right there. And from this one root, I got all of these. I'm going to replant them. And when you cook it, you peel the root like a potato. This taro root has vitamin C, vitamin A, and calcium. It's good for weight loss. I believe it's about 60 calories for a half of a cup. I might be wrong. It might be less than that. But this tuber, I mean, if you go to Lowe's and buy it, it's $30 for one of these things. And from that one, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pups around this one. I'm gonna plant these together. I have 5 pups plus the main one, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 extra ones. So from this one root that is super expensive at the store, you just plant it until you see something like that you keep it in your house until you see something like that. So I noticed that they were sprouting in my house like a potato because I didn't eat them quick enough. And I saw that. Once I saw that, I planted it so that I could see the top of this root. You see how it's exposed? And it grew. And I have this one. Excuse my yard. I am a plant person. Everything I touch grows. That's a word of manifestation. If you say things, they happen. I have this one, and this one has 1, 2, 3 pups on it, and I just planted one main plant in there. By the way, I had to take these in during the freeze, so my house was like a mess. But I kept them in the windowsill, and this one has pups around it, and I have those. I think that's about it. But all of these stemmed from 1 or 2, no, I shouldn't say that. 3 or 4 tubers. And I just kept separating them and putting in different pots. As you can see, I got one over here, one in here. That's a tomato plant that I pulled in the house. One over here. And I just keep replanting them, and you can eat them as you go along. Just eat the older ones And save the younger ones or keep replanting them, and you'll have them forever. You keep them in your window. You do not have to have a yard. I'm doing it. You can see I'm doing it in pots. All right, and it doesn't have to be a big pot. I have one over here in a little itty bitty pot. Starts off like that. For those small ones, you can put them in a little pot. Keep them in your windowsill, and they're pretty. They're not ugly. I mean, they're only burnt because I'm in Texas. And then you just keep replanting them and eat them as you go along. So, you know, this one is ready to eat. So we're back, and I replanted everything. Notice that I reuse my pots. Anything that dies, like tomato plants or anything I planted that doesn't survive, I keep the soil. Anytime I shake out soil when I'm planting something, I keep the soil. I put it in here when I'm getting ready to replant, and I refill the buckets because the soil needs to be aerated. And as soon as you put it in a new pot, the plant is in shock. You want to water it down. And give it some water. Now these don't have to be in full sun. Put them in mixed between full sun and partial shade, and it should be fine. They'll take. If it gets cold, bring them back in the house because they are tropical plants. They'll die on you, okay? But I'm watering them down real good. My hands are dirty, but you know what they say, dirty hands, clean money, right? So you want to water them down, and then I'm going to clean my patio off, and then I'll clean my hands. Hey, you guys take care, and remember to like and subscribe. This is Jamerica. Take care. Y'all have a great day, okay? Bye.